Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about the process and assembly of the overall picture. The overall picture is the final image that, with the help of the sign system, organizes all separate images into a single, cohesive, unifying picture, incorporating the icon symbols and other creative components. To begin creating an overall picture, you must first decide what it will be about for better interpretability. Therefore, first of all, you need to select the main category. We can choose from 3 types of main categories: the history of the Ninth, your story, and the story of Wingless. The history of the Ninth is the story that the Wingless style refers to as the Ninth Religious War. Here, it is customary to depict the history of the war itself, or your service during the war, for example, as a soldier. Your story is similarly connected to the era of the Ninth, but here you tell what happened to you during this period as a civilian. The story of Wingless focuses on the actions and journey of the main character within the artwork. Next comes the category type. Here we can choose from 3 types again: what happened in reality, the thought story, and the secret story. The term "what happened in real life" speaks for itself. It is what actually happened to you in real life. The thought story represents your thoughts and ideas. In this case, the first image of the overall picture always begins with a mythical creature, and the meaning of the mythical creature embraces the overall picture like a modal frame, defining it as a semantic operator added to the message. For example, if you choose a fairy, which means wishing for peace, this wishing for peace is added to the semantic content of all icon symbol components, and the overall picture must be interpreted accordingly. The secret story, however, is about secrets. These are usually depicted with UV paint or other methods invisible to the naked eye. After this comes the selection of the icon symbol. However, you must pay close attention to the segmentation. But what is segmentation and how do we define it? First, you must decide who the overall picture is about, then what it should be about, and after that, what our exact message is. The question of who the overall picture is about is defined by means, who, whose, which primarily determines the subject of the statement. What we want to say is defined by means, what, which usually describes the object or the action. Following this, meaning, I will predominantly describe the occurrence, condition, or event. We can also combine the icon symbols for better interpretability. There are several possibilities for combination. We merge them so that the end result forms a coherent, readable, and interpretable whole. We can change the colors of the icon symbols, but only if the icon does not have a predefined color, for example, a red rose, where changing the color is not possible. In addition, the meaning can be enriched and supplemented by transferring the objects of mythical creatures to achieve the desired effect. To refine the overall picture, we can use various qualifiers. For spatial determination, we can use coat of arms, flags, or markers placed on a map. The time qualifier is also important. Dates written in Roman numerals separated by dots. Native American imagery symbolizes the past, while American color schemes symbolize the present. Seasons also carry specific meanings. The number of icon symbols carries an additional complementary meaning. For example, the number 1 automatically defines monotheism, while the number 4 defines the Hungarian identity. On an overall picture supplemented with color qualifiers, red signifies Rome and orange signifies wealth. There are also special story types, such as biblical stories or backstories. Furthermore, within the articulation of the icon symbols, you can find the second meaning and the surplus report of meaning as well. But perhaps I will tell you about those in another video. Have a wonderful day, and I hope that through the overall picture you create, you will craft a lasting story via self-expression.